seventh graders, we're going to go through the chapter review for lesson 8. This is going to be your pre-test. It's a graded assignment, and I'm going to go through the questions with you to help you so that you can get a good grade on this assignment and you can study for your test. So find number 1 on the chapter review, which is Form A. The first question, it says, which ordered pair is a solution? So going back to your notes, how do you find or tell whether an ordered pair is a solution? John?
You can make a t-shirt and then you can list off the X ones and then the Y ones, and if there's like maybe 2 Y's, then it would be no, and then yes.
Okay, or what does this say? How to, yep, how to substitute a number in for X. What if you have both numbers, X and Y? Dylan? Then you substitute both and see if it is true. Okay, so that's what you should do for number 1. Substitute both and see if it is true. And find the one that is true, right? Which ordered pair is true? So substitute X and Y to see if it makes a true equation. Number 2, find the slope. How do you find the slope? Given 2 points, so 2 coordinates, class, it would really be imperative for you to pay attention to me, okay? And then work through the problems later. All right? John?
So we do 1 minus 4.
Wait, what are we using here?
Oh, 2, 4.
Okay, what are we using to find the slope? What is the process? You don't know? What are you using to solve it though? Think about it. The slope formula, right? What is the slope formula?
Y minus Y2 minus Y1.
Good.
2 minus X1.
Over x2 minus x1. That's going to help you to solve every type of problem like this. Okay?
Yes, sir.
And how do you do that? Well, in this one, 1 minus 4, 6 minus 2, reduce it. What does undefined mean? How do you know if a slope is undefined? Chase.
Vertical or horizontal?
Yeah, what would give you a vertical or horizontal line?
I think it's 0 on top.
That's a 0 slope,
Oh.
right? An undefined slope is a slope where you have an error. It's a syntax error in your calculator. Or it's you get a 0 in the denominator. Or, like we said, if you get a horizontal line, a vertical line on the graph, this is an undefined slope, isn't it? Right? Sure. Number 3, which is a function. It's the first concept we talked about. Which of the following relations is a function? How do you know if the relation is a function? Henry.
If every X has 1 Y value.
Good. So if every X has 1 Y value, in other words, if you look at the points, if there are 2 points with the same X value, that means that X value has 2 Y values. That's not a function. Okay? Number 5. Which ordered pair is a solution to the system? In number 5, they have given you 2 equations. And they're both actually inequalities. X plus y is less than 6 and y is greater than or equal to 7x minus 3. Right? So, which one would be true for both? How would you be able to tell? Again, you'd have to substitute x and y. Find the one that makes it true. That's true for both. Okay? Number 6. How do you graph number 6? What form is that equation in? It's in slope-intercept form. It's in y equals mx plus b form. Right? So, first, mark the b on there, and then mark the slope. Okay? Draw the line. The second one is also, number 7 is also in y equals mx plus b form, isn't it? What's the difference? Number 7, Dylan? Number 7 is what? Is the equation the same?
No.
It's not an equation, it's in, number 7. It's in slope-intercept, but it's an inequality. So we have to use a specific type of line. What line should we?
Dash.
A dashed line, right. And this one is y is greater than negative x plus 3. So we have to graph. We have to use the right line. And then we have to do what?
Substitute.
Substitute and shade, right? First we have to graph, then we have to graph it with the right line, and then we have to shade it. Okay? Number 8, writing a function rule. If it's a function rule, it has to be in this form. A function of x. Instead of writing y, instead of writing the letter y, we're going to write it as the letter using the function of x. Function of x is x plus, minus, times, whatever. How do you get from the function of x, or sorry, from x to the function of x? How do you get from negative 9 to negative 1? How do you get from negative 5 to 0? Or 0 to negative 5, I mean. How do you get from 1 to negative 1?
Go up 2.
I'll give you a hint on this one. What if this was y equals something x plus something? And if x is 0, and y is negative 5, what numbers could you put in here?
Huh? I know it.
What?
Times 4, right? 4x.
Times
4x.
4x plus
5. Right?
Negative 5. Jack is not a genius.
Alright, of course, minus 5. Of course,
minus 5. Wouldn't this have to be minus 5 if x is 0?
Yes.
And then y is, so then you got to find, now you just have to find this number. So in one of them it is negative 9 equals something plus negative 5. What would this have to be then? What's the only thing that you can add to negative 5? Once you figure out this one, now you can find this one. So how do you get that? Subtract 4. And this one is 1 equals, I'm sorry, negative 1 equals 1 times something plus negative 5. What would that have to be? Four?
Yes.
So if it's negative 4, it'd have to be
Negative. No.
negative 4 again, right? I'm sorry, 4. Right? Not 41.
Darn it.
The x is 1. So something times 1. Something times times negative 1. And then we get the 4 here. Okay? Since this is the x, that's how we know that this is 4 times x plus negative 5. Okay? That's okay, I'm helping you. Alright? Now, number 9 is simpler. Actually, I'm going to go back to our graph for number 9. Look at our graph for number 9. It says to write the function rule. And then they give you this graph. It goes through negative 1 on the y, and it goes through 3 on the x, doesn't it? Here's 3, here's negative 1. Can we find the slope? Can we find the y-intercept? Can we write that as a function instead of using y? So instead of y equals mx plus b, we could write it this way for number 9. What is b in this? And what is the slope from there?
Up 1.
Up 1.
No. Up 1.
Up 1 over
1/3.
Yep.
1/3.
Number 10. Yep. Yeah, I'm recording this for you so that if you're missing some of this now, you can watch it tonight and do this assignment. Okay? Number 10. Number 10 says write a rule for the months, the function of the number of years to the number of months. Okay? So, if this is given to you as years equals the number of months to years as a function, how would you get the number of months given the number of years? So if you have 1 year, how many?
12.
12. How about 2 years?
24.
What are we doing?
Adding
12.
Yeah, not adding 12,
Multiply.
right? So, y times 12 is equal to the m of y, like that, right? The months of y is equal to the number of years times 12. Yep. is selling price a specific item, for a specific item, a function of the markup? In other words, this is a question about what is the definition of a function. The function, I think a situation is a function. Guys, pay attention, please. A situation is a function if it changes every time the other number changes. So these are talking about the selling price and the markup.
So we can, make a.
So if the markup changes, does the selling price change?
Yes.
Yes. So would that be a function?
Yes.
Yeah. And you would write yes, because they, what? Every time one changes, the other changes. Okay? If one changes every time the other changes, it is a what? Hunter.
Function.
It's a function. Yep. If it doesn't necessarily change, then it is not a function. Number 12. For number 12, I need a graph. This one's a graph. And this one is graphing the system to solve it. So you got 2x equals 3y. Okay. And we have y equals 2x plus 4. Which one should we graph first?
Right one.
The right one? John, help us out.
Okay, so you go up 4. And then you would go over 2 and up 1. No, up 2 over 1.
Oh, okay.
Or down.
Or, yep, to make the line. Yep. And how can we graph this one? This one is not in y equals mx plus b.
You'd have to solve for one.
Solve for y. Okay. So we could do this. So y is equal to 2/3 x
Plus 0.
plus 0, right? So what is the intercept? Yep. So I'll put this one in red. What's the slope? 2 over 3, right? Or down to left 3. See where it changes? So they cross. You'll have to find where they cross. I'm not going to give you that. And then check the solution. Okay. 13 is graphing and shading. So that one is just like we did for today. Okay. And then the last is the scatter plot. Make a scatter plot of these numbers. And it gives you the graph, videos rented over dollars spent. So mark the points on the graph. Then look at the points. See if is there a positive or a negative correlation, or is there no correlation? Those are in your notes from the first part. There we go, scatter plots. Positive or negative correlation, we talked about those. Then it says draw a trend line and predict the cost of renting 4 videotapes. That would be on the X number, wouldn't it? So if you put 4 in, where would that be on the line? And then finally, explain how you can tell whether to draw a solid or a dashed boundary line when graphing a linear inequality. So that's asking you to write this out. Write this out right here in your notes, okay? Under lesson 8.8, graphing inequalities. Okay, that should help you a lot with these. Hopefully you use this video and you get a great grade tomorrow.